I started cooking because of my grandmother. She was born in Sweden when Sweden was a very poor country. But that didn't mean we didn't eat well. We just ate rustic. All the bread were whole grain. It's better for you nutritionally, it's better for your digestive system, and it tastes much better.
All over the world, obesity is a problem. And diabetes is a problem, people getting too much sugar. And whole grain is a solution to a lot of those problems.
Heritage grains is definitely part of the past and future of great food. I'm super excited to come here to Tehachapi and learn from John Hammond about heritage grains. My name is Chef Marcus Samuelsson. I live and work in New York City, in Harlem. I have a restaurant called Red Rooster. I was born in Ethiopia and raised in Sweden. Both these cultures where bread are so important because in Sweden it was all about whole grain, rye bread. In Ethiopia we eat one thing as our staple, which is injera bread, which is made with a heritage grain called teff. What I think is happening in America is we produced a lot of food for the last 60 to 70 years because we wanted to create white flour or white sugar based on color, not based on what was healthy for us. Our taste buds and the way we thought was good food is completely wrong.
People need to be aware that some labeling is misleading. You can call bread whole grain if you've just put a small amount of the bran that's been removed back in. Consumers need to be more educated and they need to pick up a package before they buy it and look at the ingredient list and look at the top 2 ingredients. You want to look for whole grain. Human health is more significant than the stock price of your multinational company. It's incumbent upon them to try and serve wholesome food at as reasonable price as possible and not placing profit margins ahead of human health. My family first came here in 1898. They got this farm in 1921. I was raised here, I've lived here all my life. The way we farm is more like a throwback to earlier centuries really of farming. It's all part of a holistic approach to life and to farming. When I see my daughter climbing a tree, it's not just climbing any tree, she's climbing the same trees I remember climbing when I was her age. We have some Sonora wheat that we raise that's been cultivated for at least 400 years and in California for more than 300 years. Ancient grains and heritage and heirloom grains, these terms are just used to describe grains that predate the modern wheat breeding era. And so we want to continue these, grow them in the present and into the future.
So what are we doing here? What am I looking for?
Okay, so you're wanting to test the grain. We kind of grind it, use your palm, and then blow lightly. So this is pretty clean.
Nice. Snack time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then by chewing it, then you can tell how cured it is. As you first put it in, you taste the bran, then you're biting through that. And when you get the germ, you get those oils, you go, okay, now that begins to change the consistency and the flavor.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
John, help me unpack whole grain. What is it and why is it better for us?
So the bran gives you much better digestion, the fiber is good for you, the germ contains most of the nutrients. So it is more healthy, and the least nutritional part of a wheat berry is the starchy endosperm that surrounds it, and that's what white, all-purpose, unbleached flour consists of. And if you see the difference, once people have that they've had breads that have been baked with our wheat or our rye, and they go, I've never tasted bread so good. That alone will convince people to eat healthier once they've tried it.
And how come you focused on heritage grains? Like, where did that come from?
Older grains have other attributes, like they're more drought tolerant, they require less rain. We keep focusing on sustainability. These heirloom grains that are more cold tolerant, more disease resistant are an important part of that. So have you ever driven a tractor before? Have you operated? Okay, let's check it out. I'll have you drive a tractor.
I'm excited, man.
Okay.
That's really cool. All I can say is I'm far away from Harlem right now.
That's fine. You're good. All right. It was great teaching Marcus how to drive a tractor. He's used to getting around in Harlem. Driving around the perimeter of a grain field was no problem for him.
As a chef, cooking is not something that you've mastered, ever. It's my job to always search more knowledge. So by meeting John, I've now learned more about heritage grain, new nuances, new ways to use it. So you have this great flour here. So let's make a flatbread.
What we just ground, there was no separation, no removal of the bran. We didn't remove the germ. It's all ground up together. So the flour is much more nutritionally dense.
So you got some fresh herbs here. I just picked some rosemary, but I also see that you have some fresh thyme. Can you pick me some fresh thyme?
Sure.
Thank you. This is so beautiful. So I'm just gonna add that straight on, you know what I mean? You have zucchini, you have thyme. I'm gonna add some of that cheese.
Someone who's as highly respected as Marcus is advocating the use of heritage grains and using whole grains and recognizing their superiority in flavor and taste and health. And so he's an ideal person to be able to spread that message.
All right. Ready to eat? It's so good.
Yeah.
I know it's a very honest taste. So you think your grandfather would approve?
Yeah, completely. Marcus arrived here enthusiastic, and he became even more enthused as he learned about how we grow our grain and how much healthier, nutritious whole grains are and how the process works.
I just think it's really cool and interesting what Panera is doing, showing its curiosity and want to be part of the solution on making better food. It's something we all have to participate in. And what John is doing here at the Tehachapi Grain Project is so important. He forces us to look in the past in order to make better food for today, but also for the future. And now I'm going to spread the message.